Right now, there are hundreds of people who are experiencing homelessness all across central Connecticut. For some, it's meant living in shelters, and for others, it's conditions that are way more extreme. What I found here was a first for me in my more than 15 years as a reporter. Deep in the woods of central Connecticut is where Michael Jasowitz spent his 41st birthday.
Everybody needs to know that some people really don't choose this.
In fact, he spent his last 7 birthdays here.
This is not a choice. I don't want to be here at all. I do not want to be here at all.
Michael is one of roughly 450 people who are experiencing homelessness across the region. He says a lost job and complicated family dynamic led him here.
We built this, and this is all supposed to be temporary. None of us expected to be out here this long.
We found the Connecticut native living in a multi-room encampment he built by hand.
This brick and some rusty nails in the ground is what built this entire place. Wow, impressive. Brick and some nails.
He's one of more than 70 people who are classified as unsheltered in central Connecticut. Someone who doesn't have a traditional roof over their head.
Outreach.
We met Michael while on foot with New Britain's Friendship Service Center.
I meet them where they're at, and it's certainly try not to leave them there.
Miguel Rodriguez leads the nonprofit's homeless outreach team.
The misconception is that folks that are homeless or displaced, that they have substance use disorders or they have mental health issues, or they just want to be outdoors. Anybody home, guys?
He'll often make multiple connections covering many miles in a day.
I use all the resources that I have at my disposal to get them what they may need. At times, they just may be a pair of socks.
Michael says he's grateful for the help.
My philosophy is if everybody helped everybody, nobody would ever go without.
Philosophy there. We've been working on this story for weeks and just learned after meeting Michael and heading out into the woods with the outreach team, he has secured an apartment. Right now we are respecting his privacy as he makes a major transition after 7 years there in the woods, but the hope is to do a follow-up if and when he's ready. That outreach coordinator we just heard from, Miguel Rodriguez, is with us this morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
There is so much, you're welcome. There is so much to talk about here, but we just saw Michael secure an apartment after years in the woods. You're on the front lines of doing this work. What goes through your mind when you see that?
Major accomplishment on his end. Something started small, and here we are, him having a place of his own.
And what will that transition look like? Because when we were out there with him, the question was, are you ready to even go to an apartment if you can find one? The answer there was yes. What happens next?
Well, I'm trying to get him connected to receive furniture and so forth, food resources and so forth. So I do keep in contact with him. He moved in March 1st.
What will be kind of most critical as someone like Michael makes that transition out of homelessness into housing?
Well, keeping in touch with me and doing my job also to being in touch with him, staying connected with him, saying, hey, checking in with him, what do you need perhaps, to make your life a little easier, seeing that you have your apartment.
It was really remarkable spending the morning with you. You have this unique gift to connect with people where they are. Speak to that ability. I know your personal experience has a lot to do with that. What can you tell us?
Well, I struggled with many of the issues that the folks that I come across with struggle. So there is a connection. They can relate, I can relate, and we become a team, hopefully for the end result, getting them housed.
And when you were out there, what is going through your mind? Like, what is your main objective? We found Michael. We did not know if we would find anyone in that location, and then we find this structure here, a 3-room structure. What is your main goal when we arrived at a scene like this or anywhere?
Checking in with him, hearing what he has to say, and seeing where I could fit in to help, assist in any way possible. But active listening to say, what do you need? What are your wants, needs, and how I can assist you.
We have been covering homeless stories and issues about housing for years here. When we encountered this was a first for me in 15 years. I was blown away. The fact that people are building structures like in the woods, what does that say about the issue we're faced with in central Connecticut?
The struggle is real. I mean, they have to do whatever it takes to just survive out there. So, like you saw in the piece, he used a brick. No hammers.
It is remarkable to walk through this space. I'm sure, have seen a lot. This, for me, was a first, that somebody is surviving there, not for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, for years. When we crunch the numbers and talk about the issue and people like Michael who are struggling, this time last year, there were roughly 50 unsheltered individuals in central Connecticut. A year later, that number is at 70 plus. How does that complicate the work you try to do every day?
Well, I try to keep it simple, just like when my initial engagements, when I go out and meet with folks. I keep it simple, and we just build up our rapport between us to, see how I could assist.
You know this world so well. You have lived so much of it. To see a success story come out of all of this in your heart of hearts, what does that mean for you?
It's incredible. I mean, even if you're a month displaced and you get housing, that's a major accomplishment. I've had a client who was displaced for 14 years, major accomplishment. It's a collective, it's a partnership. I assist, they have to participate also. I provide resources, they have to connect with me, I connect with them. Part of outreach is, for me, my duties are to reach out to the agencies, different services available.
You are a frontline hero. Thank you for the work that you're doing in our community. It is making a real impact. Wishing you the best, and obviously wishing Michael all the best as he transitions into this new opportunity. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.